Hi everyone, this is going to be a reading on the picture, fake, edited, whatever you want to call it, that Princess Kate put up with her 3 children for Mother's Day on the 10th of March. I did see it pop up and I looked at it and I thought, I just felt it was a bit weird. I know some people are saying like, the kids are too happy or overjoyed. When you are taking a photo, you know, they do tend to say, make sure you look happy and give it a big smile, look like you're celebrating. And so I didn't feel that, but I felt there was a block on the energy on the picture. Now, I know a lot of people are still of the view that the other picture was a fake one of Kate with her mum driving. Anyway, I just thought this is clearly, again, something to try and control the frenzy out there. But I couldn't feel like the energy. I felt like there was, I actually wondered, I was like, is this a bit of cut and paste, like pasting people in, taking the best pictures? But I didn't think much of it and I just left it, and I didn't even think to do a reading. I thought about it, I was like, should I do a reading? It's interesting, split the deck and I get the Ace of Wands in reverse. Now intuitively what I'm getting with that is a blocked intuition. And this is something I wanted to say in this reading about them right now. And then Princess Kate came out and apologized, which I felt she didn't need to apologize. She could have just said, yeah, maybe there's a misalignment, because what was initially said, the misalignment, I think of Louis's hand. And I think when I look at Louis, it's his fingers that are like crossed over, not necessarily his hand. So, but then after that, I think there's something about Charlotte's arm or something. I also found it a bit strange that she was like wearing jeans. I just felt like either it was a picture taken a while ago and yet a little bit of editing, or there was some copy pasting on a background of an older picture, or a picture of the area but they've been pasted in from other pictures. And yeah, I don't think she needed to apologize. She could have just said, listen, I filtered it. I guess you'd say I'm sorry for thinking, but the way media presents it is as if she's really apologizing, when sometimes we just say, yeah, sorry, I led you to believe that there was no filtering. I think it's all part of feeling very much the royals overall, including Kate, disempowered and not necessarily in control with everything that's going on. I mean, even like tarot and psychics from outside the country, there's some crazy stories that are going around, and I presume even from within the country, on whatever you can read to make it an interesting click to listen to. So, you know, I wanted to just look at this. One thing I did see is that Adobe, which sometimes is used for editing, has actually hit an increased target in sales. Like suddenly it's gone up, which I found very not silly. The word silly came out, that's weird. Maybe silly of people to run towards it. But yeah, that third eye, the Ace of Wands in reverse, trying to kickstart that new beginning that's not working, trying to kickstart that new beginning of people just the calming down, which I went through in the last reading, but also the blocked intuition. And obviously, you know, she's just come out of surgery. And another thing is, a lot of word has been said. She's always got to look prim and proper, allow her to just be her. And I was looking at the genes. When I saw it, I was like, oh, okay. The Ace of Wands again. And I thought, I wonder if you would wear like that after abdominal surgery, cross-legged and stuff. And you could, it's not impossible. So 1 second, let's start. Again, another crashing down and a burden where there was hopes of a gesture that would come out that would stream in love to start a new cycle around the media frenzy and everything going on. It didn't. It caused that tower moment. It caused the questioning as well of the monarch again. We've got the High Priestess, where I said about the blocked intuition. And this often comes up, you know, the High Priestess and the Hierophant. There's a blockage in someone's belief of a certain way, as opposed to a changing of pattern of a certain way. And opening your intuition, third eye. Remember what I was saying about the Ace of Wands. I want to pick this up, that's reversed like that. King of Swords. Where I mentioned they really do need, I really feel like William needs a mentor. Someone who can correct him from where past things have done, where things have taken place and media frenzy has come out. And so someone who is close, is maybe knows the royal family, knows how it works and etc., is close to family, knows what's happened, and yet someone who can be on that edge. The King of Swords, again, it was in Camilla's reading, it was in their reading, where I'm like, they really need to get the press, the advisors right, and I think they're trying to, but something is lacking. I don't know if they're listening to the wrong people and they don't have the right advisors in place. But again, what I'm feeling is there really needs to be a mentor in his life. And I think a discussion between him and Harry would always be able to sort of balance that look, that kind of outcome, a viewpoint from two different perspectives. You know, I don't think she was involved in the editing of the pic. I don't think it was like Adobe, because when I thought of it at the beginning, I was like, I wonder if she's also tried to, maybe sometimes when you filter or try to slim yourself down, everyone else goes into misalignment. You know, you slim yourself down, and so other people either, you know, something on the edge of them goes into a misalignment or stuff like that. And that's what I wondered at first. I'm not sure if she was actually the one that edited the picture. I have to be honest here. So even though she's apologized, although if someone else has done it, it's not a professional, it's someone like, you know, someone who hasn't, but who's gone and done it in an innocent way. Maybe she said, can we have it done? Can you just filter it a little bit or do this to it? But it's not a professional who's done it. it might have been like what I mean by that is like a half-hearted effort. Let's just get this out. And so it's not got that professional touch to double check on alignments and stuff. When you do edit it, they know how to check the manipulation of stuff, and they really break it down to the megabytes and etc. But again, I feel like what they're doing is not trying to create an illusion to lie to people, but yes, there's an illusion trying to be created to calm things down, because I really do feel like they feel things are out of control. And I mentioned it in the last reading, and there's several key messages in each of my readings that if they're not clear within that reading, they become very clear as things get predicted. I mean, if you're aware of the missing autistic teen in the US, interesting I said Stephen. Wonder who's connected to that called Stephen. Sebastian Rogers. I'll have to look if there's someone called Stephen in that case. I mentioned a lot about the father, and I think the father's agreed to finally speak out. I mentioned that in my reading, and I mentioned where I think his kind of work. I mentioned why I think he's been holding back. I mentioned a lot of stuff, and it comes out, and obviously because the channel is small, the validation doesn't get out. But that's interesting. I might do a separate read on that just to bring it forward. But a lot of like the readings have key messages in, and yes, if I'm not doing a personalized reading, I try to navigate from delivering any very dark message. I do it in a key tone, and if you're aware of the readings, you'll get it. What's interesting here as well is that there's kind of a death and a rebirth of the monarch, okay, in the reading, and that's not the question I asked, but I'm just channeling also what I'm getting. A death and a rebirth of the monarch, and we know that, but while that's happening, there's a death and a rebirth of thoughts and belief systems, and that needs to occur, because I think here what might happen is the old cycle will just repeat without a new cycle if past experiences are not learnt, patterns are cut off, and things are done in the right way, because sometimes all we know is the old way. That's something else I'm getting here. And again, I mentioned about the King or the Queen of Swords being important. Let's look at the intention of the photo, although I've said what I think it is. Let's look at the intention of the photo. Make sure I'm putting them right way up. You know, when you're overwhelmed and things seem out of control, your judgment is not in the best place. Think about it. I'm sure you know, you're just kind of like, I think I'm spiraling out of control and I need to take control of stuff. So, you know, your judgment is not always in the best place. When you do stuff or when you take it, it's just kind of like, yeah, just do it. Just get it out there. Just, okay, is that what you're saying and advising? Let's just do that. Let's see the energy of the photo. The energy of the photo, please, Spirit. Again, the Tower. It didn't come out, but the energy of the photo is to show a happy family with children, with kids. The Ten of Cups, but it didn't do that, right? And that's what I kind of mentioned. It's to show that, you know, it's also to show that, again, the stability, the foundation is there, all right? But we had the Tower instead. also, you know, portray that image of the monarch is okay. Yes, we've had grumbles, little light bulbs go on, but we're still solid and we're okay. Work was done towards it. The Magician at the bottom of the deck. Trying to manifest that change that I was talking about to move forward. There's still a fear and there's something that's, you know, it was a challenging choice, but it felt like it was needed to give that ending of this whole frenzy that's continuing to go on, and a rebirth, and they're trying to do their best by manifesting it. But again, not seeing clearly what would have been a decision they needed to make. And this fear here was a bit challenging, but the whole idea was to move forward. And something was not seen clearly about doing that. I feel the work that was done on editing it was mainly on Princess Kate. So like I said, maybe it was around just what I mentioned, either maybe, you know, if she's had abdominal surgery, or she's maybe put on a couple of pounds. I'm not talking about a lot of weight, and she looks a bit plumber, or she's got water retention. We can look plumper, and so maybe that's it. But it's also to show she's getting better. She's in control of her health. She has it all together. She's with her family. And then also Prince William's energy is like, I want to move forward from this. There's too much. He's got a lot of fear in him, and Catherine is also just really, in a way, trying to block all the noise out here. It was really eager to have that, like I said, the death and the new chapter. But again, this is about taking that risk. There was something about it, and I said it here. And they just plunged to that risk. And I think, you know, it was a decision that a few people were involved. Even possibly the mother figure was involved as well. It caused a lot of anxiety as people picked up on seeing that. And I don't know if it was retracted or if it's, but when I looked up, today just to check if it had been retracted, I can see it's still when I do a search. It's continued to, it caused conflict, it caused a battle. It didn't diminish this. Okay, so I asked basically, was it an older photo of her? And the likely answer is yes. It was. I'm not talking about a year or something. It was just a little bit older. It could have been like a couple of months or before her abdominal surgery. But basically, it wouldn't have been like the winter months unless she was pasted into that backdrop. So it wasn't the freshest photo of her. And I was saying at the beginning, a little bit of cut and paste I was getting from the energy was kind of a bit blocked. Like I didn't believe it straight away. I saw it, I was like, oh, that's nice, but it's a bit weird. I didn't feel the energy from their expressions. It was very mundane. Now I just want to ask another question. Let's put these cards. On the side. Oops. Queen of Swords comes out. Okay. Here, I feel like their challenge is really deciding on who is giving the clear advice that they need to take, you know, and they need to be very transparent in what they're communicating and what they're putting out there. Also understanding the right decisions to make in terms of this. In terms of also priorities, yes, we do want to eliminate red flags. Yes, we do want to eliminate red traffic lights, anything that's focusing on us. But maybe right now we're hovering too much in it and clouded, and not grounding ourselves in our priorities. Also, who is advising us in terms of what we're doing this? Is it the most important, or is reconciling, coming together stronger, and you know, just getting our health back, being together most important, and allowing things to just diminish? By the way, did King Charles put anything for Mother's Day up? I don't know why I'm getting that. Searching for peace, but yeah, the challenge here, there's a challenge of making sure you're taking on the right advice, being clear, making sure the person who is advising you is also trusted. And again, remember I said about the Queen and the King of Swords, that is very much needed since I've said that about their readings. And decisions around that, making sure the decisions that take don't diminish in terms of how the monarch looks, in terms of what is being put out there. Making sure it doesn't create higher tides and, you know, noise. It actually calms the waters instead. You know, here their hopes was really to diminish. I can't, you know, I was channeling it. I got it in the last reading. Sometimes I use the cards just because obviously for you it's visionary, but a lot of what I also want to say comes through, and then the cards confirm. And here again, trying to diminish the conflict, diminish the resistance of people, but also the resistance maybe that they're in certain situations, but calming down the conflict. And in that, you know, patience is needed a little bit, but that patience, and continuing to work on it in this kind of form is also triggering a bit of fear, because there's a kind of feeling that no, it needs to be, time is not, you know, this is timely, there needs to be messaging and communication, there needs to be this and that, but a lot of it needs time and patience, and things will prevail. Remember in some of the readings I said allow destiny to pan out, and again I'm bringing that up. Allow destiny to pan out, as also I mentioned in this reading a bit earlier about breaking old patterns is a real test right now. Is anything being handled by, for example, Prince William and Princess Kate, or maybe Prince William in this manner, similar to maybe when Charles might have felt things were getting out of hand? He would have had less hand in because the Queen was there, but was it the right way? The Queen was the pinnacle, and now maybe everyone realizes especially maybe external, that don't have a monarch, that she didn't just sit there. She really had everything in control. And here she is as well. I just got that, like, this is her. So a bit of fear around being patient and allowing to plant little seeds that then get them out of the choppy waters, to move towards a future of calmer waters. And I mentioned the waters here, interestingly. I mentioned about the high tides, trying to calm those high tides, and here it's about the future of moving to calmer waters, which they do want as well. So let's just check something here. I really do feel like they felt like they needed to do this to, like I said, really control. They feel out of control, the lack of control, you can say the lack of empowerment right now to control the story, and really have a clear message that helps to diffuse the rumors, diffuse the things that can come out of anything really, whether right or wrong. And there's definitely been here an error of judgment. Yeah, there's the error of judgment, a slight regret, and I'm not saying it's necessarily Princess Catherine, but there's a slight regret around that. Okay. Now let's ask a question. It's interesting that just moved. It's like Spirit's telling me to take it. High Priestess. Remember what I was saying, not listening to your intuition. I don't think there's enough grounding, too much in the air about stuff. Really trying to manifest that change and work on the picture of manipulating it a little bit. There was more than one person that was involved to create this, to change the picture. It could, also have had Prince William's involvement here. And the need to just try and block people out, try and just defend as well. There's here an area of feeling vulnerable behind trying to defend everything, of defending even the monarch, defending where, also Catherine's current health, where she's, we know she's not been feeling very well, trying to show that she's on that recovery, and peace will be brought up. But there's a big thing about quieting, taking a step back. And again, the High Priestess comes in. Things that we're also not privy to, okay, is there. They're very much privy to it. Yeah, really juggling how you message the recovery and, everything is going well. How do we recover that? How do we show that? It's Mother's Day, there's a celebration, we're eating merry. How do we, what's the decision around that to show the rebirth, the beginning of coming back into it, Catherine coming back into her role, slowly being out there, showing that she's recovering. So this is also, that was the intention. Where I've said about needing to be quite, it's interesting, I nearly put that in reverse, needing to be defensive, etc. I think Catherine is feeling that overwhelm, and she's feeling that overwhelm also right now because her children were in that picture. And maybe there's been a light bulb moment there. I can't help but look at her and think Princess Diana's around. A light bulb moment. I feel like Princess Diana's carrying this, and look, this is your light bulb moment. Maybe to Prince William, maybe to them both, you know. Light bulb moment. Be careful on nurturing your marriage and your children right now. Don't get absorbed into everything, okay? That then leads you into depression. That can lead you into feeling stuck, lead you into rejecting everything, and not seeing things clearly, feeling very much hopeless in a situation where you go on a continued thing of needing to defend, needing to try and calm everything down. And that's what happens when we tend to try and feel, when we feel things are overwhelming, out of control, and not going in the right direction. Split the deck, the Chariot card, to show the stability in the happy family. Okay, so that's Catherine's energy there. I don't know how long I've been talking for. Death, the end of, trying to put the end to the friends. Spirit is telling me to split the deck here. Page of Pentacles. Yeah, I'm getting with that is Diana's saying, remember, don't mess it up, because there's another generation after you, Prince William and Princess Kate, which is, you know, your child who's going to have to take the throne, you know, that new beginning. Look, the Fool was just turned over. So make sure you set this new beginning right, because you've got an opportunity to do so. Don't get caught up in stuff and lose out of control. You know, Prince William's energy around the picture is nothing but love, and was to display, but not in an illusionary way, a display of showing stability, celebration on Mother's Day. Look at that, the recognition, but there was something that was hidden about it. We've got the Ten of Pentacles in reverse as well. Some hidden fears around it as well. I think, you know, they wondered if, I don't think they realized that the manipulation will get recognized, but there was a sensing, which, going back to the High Priest, that was like, I wonder if this is right to do. Where the monarch and the stability around his family, Kate, and the kids is not in the right, upright way. It's trying to show that things are good, but he's not trying to be, he genuinely wants, he genuinely has love here, right? But there is hidden illusion in it, which we know now. And it was for us to recognize that instead of things are all to pot in the family, in the monarch, with him and Kate, with him and the kids, that there is stability, there is celebration, there is love. But you can't fake this card. You can only, with these cards, there's illusion here. Yeah, trying to bring balance by showing the love and balance into the situation of what is happening, especially with what is getting said, you know, around also their relationship, lovers, choice, Queen of Cups here, about Princess Catherine, And it was, you know, Mother's Day, Queen of Cups, moving again, Six of Swords, moving out of, moving to calmer shores, moving out of choppy waters, you know, trying to also be at more peace and not have all the noise and the high commotion around. And it was really to get a fast message communication. This could have been done, like I said, when you're taking such decisions from a fear-based place, you can actually, one second, I don't know if I got to call, that's why. You can actually just take a quick, fast action decision, and that's what I was mentioning, and it's very much here to try and move forward, but you can't always do that. Look at this, same cards, and the King of Swords that comes out. You can't always hide facts. You cannot always manipulate stuff. Princess Catherine's health state is what it is. No matter what we try to communicate, but when we communicate, the sword needs to be in the right direction and the arrow needs to be in the right direction. You need to pause and then you hit that arrow to hit the right direction. Think from a higher elevated place. When you have a crown, keep that elevation of thinking from that high I can't even say it. So they're not operating from a high place. I can't even say the word now. Elevated place. There's not been operation from that elevated place where they need to be in a sharp mind, being able to see clearly. That was not able to be done. To give and receive. So when you give out the clarity, you know, you can then receive back what you intended to receive. I think there's a lot learned here. Going back to really knowing with patterns we need to break to move forward. And I think Princess Diana is very much coming through on that. I'm just covering that. Realizing that something here is very much similar to what was done in the past, maybe between her and Charles, and that needs to change. So I'm going to leave this here. If you enjoyed this reading, please do like, subscribe, and I'll see you everyone in your next reading. Please do support your readings because they will be the readings with the most views, most likes and comments that get the regular readings. It's energy put back into that as opposed to readings that are not, and then I can devote more energy in certain places as opposed to across the board of multiple stuff, while I have my own clients and readings and energy healing as well going on, and the other services I provide as whatever else we have in life as well. So take care everyone. I hope you enjoyed the reading and stay blessed. Bye for now.